Years had passed since Joseph's brothers had sold him into slavery and returned home believing they would never see him again. Famine now covered the land Canaan, Egypt, and every place between. Grain was scarce, and hunger pressed hard on Jacob's household. When Jacob heard there was food in Egypt, he sent his sons there to buy grain, keeping only Benjamin, the youngest, at home. The brothers arrived in Egypt and stood before the governor of the land, the man who controlled the storehouses and the fate of nations. They did not recognize him. Joseph, once the boy in the multicolored coat, was now dressed in fine linen, speaking through an interpreter, powerful and unreadable, but Joseph recognized them at once. As they bowed before him, Joseph remembered his dreams from long ago in the pit, and the caravan, and the long road into suffering. He spoke harshly, accusing them of being spies. His brothers protested, insisting they were honest men, sons of one father, with a younger brother still at home. When they spoke of that brother, Joseph's heart tightened. Joseph tested them. He demanded they bring Benjamin to Egypt to prove their words were true. He imprisoned them briefly, then released them all, but Simeon, keeping him bound until they returned. As they left, the brothers spoke among themselves. Unaware, Joseph understood their language. They said, "Surely we are being punished because of our brother Joseph. We saw his anguish, and we did not listen." Joseph turned away and wept. When the brothers returned to Canaan and told Jacob what had happened, grief and fear filled the household. Simeon was held in Egypt, and Benjamin was demanded. Only when the famine grew severe did Jacob agree to let Benjamin go, trusting him into God's hands. When the brothers returned to Egypt with Benjamin, Joseph saw them and was deeply moved. He invited them to a feast in his house. Still hidden behind his authority, he arranged them in birth order, astonishing them. Benjamin received 5 times as much food as the others. Joseph watched closely, testing their hearts. Then Joseph devised one final test. He ordered his silver cup placed in Benjamin's sack. When the brothers were stopped and accused of theft, the cup was found with Benjamin. According to Egyptian law, Benjamin was to become a slave. At this, Judah stepped forward. He pleaded with Joseph, telling the story of their father, of his love for Benjamin, of the grief that would surely kill him if the boy did not return. Judah offered himself as a slave in Benjamin's place. That was the moment Joseph could bear it no longer. He dismissed the servants, and standing alone with his brothers, he wept aloud. Then he said, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" His brothers were terrified, struck silent by shock and fear, but Joseph drew them close and spoke gently. "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here. God sent me ahead of you to preserve life. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." Joseph forgave them completely. He kissed them, wept over them, and restored them as brothers. He sent them back to Canaan with wagons, provisions, and a message for Jacob. Joseph was alive and ruler in Egypt. When Jacob heard the news, his spirit revived. He and all his household journeyed to Egypt. God reassured him along the way, promising to make his family into a great nation there. Joseph met his father in Goshen and fell on his neck, weeping for a long time. He settled his family in the land, provided food for them through the famine, and protected them under Pharaoh's favor. Thus the family that had once been torn apart by jealousy was reunited by forgiveness. What began in betrayal ended in mercy, and through Joseph's suffering, God preserved a people laying the foundation for Israel's future in Egypt.